back to my channel, and welcome if you're new. My name's Nastazsa, and I'd love it if you would subscribe to my channel for future videos. For today's video, I'm gonna be sharing with you guys some DIY IKEA hacks that are Pinterest inspired. I absolutely love just going on Pinterest and browsing, and sometimes I find some IKEA hacks on there that I really love. So these I really wanted to recreate. So I tried to put my own little fun twist on them as always. And I will have the links to everything I use to recreate these DIYs in the description box down below. So be sure to check there. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. So for the first IKEA hack, we are using these wooden shelves. They actually come in a pack of 2 for $9, and we only need 1 for this IKEA hack. So I think that that's a pretty good deal. I will probably use the other shelf in a future IKEA hacks video, but for this one, we're just using 1. You're also going to need some drawer pulls. I got these off Amazon, so I will have them linked down below. I'm just using some black paint, a foam brush, as well as an electric drill. The first step is obviously to cover your workspace, since we are going to be painting this, and it's probably only going to take 1 or 2 coats, simply because it is a natural wood piece. So you can really customize this and choose any color. You do not have to choose the black. I just wanted to go with black because I thought it looked super minimal. You're just gonna go ahead and add in your first layer of paint, and it's pretty simple. We are just going in with a foam brush, but if you wanted to use a paintbrush, that would work as well for this project. I'm gonna go ahead and let this first coat of the paint dry before I add a second layer. I did the 2 coats of paint on the front already. I flipped it over, and now I'm just doing 2 coats of paint on the back. That is really all you're going to need. Again, as I mentioned before, it's a natural wood, so it absorbs the paint quite nicely. All right, now that the paint is dry, and then I also did go in and add a clear sealant just because this could potentially get wet. So that part is kind of optional. If you don't think you'll end up getting water on this, it isn't that necessary. As far as the handles go, for me, I think that the placement is going to be on each edge, simply because that way if you have something here like a book or even a glass drink, this kind of helps it from completely tipping over. So I'm gonna add 1 right here, and I'm gonna show you guys a quick hack. So if you guys do not own an electric drill like me, you can take a screwdriver and a regular screw and create the holes that you need to attach these. I'm just gonna use my electric drill as an example just because it's quicker. But also, if you're like me and you lose your drill bit all the time, this is a great alternative as well. So I'm just gonna start off by putting in the first hole right in the middle. As you can see, we created the hole with this screw, and all you have to do after that is remove the screw. So again, this would also work with just a regular hand screwdriver as well. All right, so after creating that hole, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flip it over to secure this in first. So you're just going to use your screwdriver and screw that in. So when you attach this side, make sure that you don't secure it all the way. You want to have a little bit of wiggle room, and that is just going to show you exactly where you need to drill your next hole. So you're doing exactly what you did before. You're taking your screw and you're just creating another hole. So this is the completed bath caddy. I'm gonna go ahead and take you guys over to my bathroom so I can share with you guys what it would actually look like when it's being used. I love just how sleek and minimal it is, but if you guys wanted to switch it up and get gold handles, silver handles, pretty much whatever you wanted, maybe even some cute little doorknobs from Anthropologie you could add on here. You could really spice it up, and obviously if you wanted something more colorful, you could pick a colored paint. For this next IKEA hack, we're gonna be using one of these newer IKEA arrivals, which are these really fun woven baskets. These actually go in the Kallax shelving unit, but you can use them, of course, for anything else. And we are actually going to be turning this into a poof, which is so cool. When I saw the concept, I thought it was awesome. And I'm gonna share with you a few different ways that you can actually recreate this DIY. So you're, of course, going to need some sort of filler to fill it with. And then next, I'm actually going to change the color of it to white. So I'm using this little white fabric spray paint. I definitely think that you can customize this in so many different colors. You could tape it off, you could put designs on it, pretty much whatever you want, or you could just leave it the natural fabric. I do love the natural color and texture to it, but it just doesn't match where I wanted to place it. That's why I'm gonna switch it up with the color. And then next, you're going to need a piece of fabric. In the original DIY on Pinterest, she actually used 2 of these, but I personally think that that's kind of expensive because these are $12.99. I was actually able to find this fabric for $5.99, so $6. It was actually 50% off, $3. And most of the poofs that I own actually do not have the same fabric all around. They have more of this type of fabric on the bottom piece, so that's what I'm doing. I'm going to be using a hot glue gun. You could always sew the bottom piece of the fabric on, but I always like to show you guys a very quick and easy option. So the best way to start this DIY is to stuff the poof and then worry about the paint and everything else later. So the first thing you're going to do is obviously cut off this tag, and you just want to remove that. Be careful though, because this tag is attached with the actual strands that are holding this whole thing together. So do not just go crazy and cut it off like that. You actually need to cut it and then carefully pull the remnants. Otherwise, this whole thing will come unraveled. And I would actually recommend maybe putting a heavy book in here for a little bit of time just to get it to kind of stretch out a little bit. So all you do is just place a book at the bottom, and that's just gonna help flatten it out for a little bit. I actually might add a few more books in there just to make it nice and heavy. So I would let that sit for about an hour. All right, and now you're just going to add your stuffing. I did go ahead and get 2 bags of this in case I needed 2, which it looks like I am probably going to need the second bag just to make sure it's like extra fluffy and stuffed. And make sure you fill in on the sides here where it could potentially like fold in. You want to make sure that it's nice and stuffed. That way it keeps its shape. I would recommend probably using 1.5 of the bags just to assure like over time it stays nice and fluffy. All right, now we're gonna go in with our fabric. And since this is already a cut piece of fabric, I actually think I'm just gonna use one of the corners and I'm gonna fold it under and then just start hot gluing the edges along the end, and then I'll just cut it off as needed. All right, now we're just gonna go in and take this corner. We're gonna start, like I said, hot gluing it into the back end of the woven basket. Keep in mind you can easily just stitch this up if you want to, but I did want to show you guys a no-sew option. So I'm just gonna go in and start adding a generous amount of the hot glue and then placing that like that. It's nice and sealed and ready to be flipped over. So this is what the completed poof looks like. As you guys can see, it's kind of just a little too matchy with the rug that I have. So that's why I'm gonna go in with the fabric spray paint right now just to give it a nice little layer of color. That is totally optional. You could always just leave it this gorgeous brown shade if it did match in your place. But I absolutely love the finished product. It looks so expensive, so luxurious, and it was super affordable to make. I also love how customizable this DIY IKEA hack is. You could easily also get a stencil, put that on there and create some designs, or get the spray fabric paint in any different color that they make. For the next IKEA hack, we're using this small little wooden shelf. This can actually be found in the children's section of IKEA. For this DIY, you're also going to need a hot glue gun, a pair of scissors, and a piece of cane. All right, this was super easy to assemble. You basically just kind of like screw the bar on. And now we are going to go in with our little fabric piece just to see how much we need to cut off. Place the hot glue right behind here. And then I'm going to drop that basically into the hot glue. After you add the glue, I would definitely recommend applying a little pressure. And just like that, you are done. I absolutely love this piece. If you wanted to go ahead and sand down this wood a little, you could even stain it if you wanted to. Or I've seen a lot of cane pieces where it is black with the cane and it looks beautiful. So if you wanted to go ahead and paint this, you could. This is a great way to add in a fun pop of the cane trend to your home. So those were today's Pinterest inspired DIY IKEA hacks. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to leave more video requests, or if there's a specific item from IKEA that you want me to do a little fun DIY hack on, let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye!